You're welcome to your live exclusive tarot report. This is the Peace Dealer. And I hope you enjoy this report. We are back again. We're going to follow this up with the pick a card reading on Thursday. And let's get this show on the road. Um, Tomorrow's Wednesday. Today was Tuesday. I'm gonna have to do next Tuesday. I'm probably going to follow up tomorrow and Friday with the transit talks as well, so we can get that. And I missed Tuesday yesterday, so next Tuesday. Oh no, today's Tuesday. Next Tuesday we can do Mars for sure. By yeah. Mars is getting ready to go on Pluto, so prepare for that. It's going to be very interesting over the next couple of days. And yeah, should activate more intensity collectively, universally. Should get more violent, is what I'm saying. All right, so that being said, y'all, let's get this show on the road. I'm going to be doing the before tarot, okay? Please understand the difference between people using ideas good in theory versus their capability to use you as a number. Okay. It's very easy for people to get in front and put a great ideal that is passionate to move forward on, all for the purpose of kind of just using you as a number to just increase what in the moment they feel is the right thing to do. And don't get played out here. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Don't get like, what is a weekend anymore? Yes. Don't get needlessly distracted. In the face of what in the moment looks very important, but might be more of a psyop than you even know. But let me not just call everything a psyop. That being said, like I just showed you, I'm using the before tarot. Much thanks and love to Forest Fairy Tarot. And yeah, yo. Let's see. All right. Palantir. No. Unless you saw Eagle Eye. It may be. I'm everywhere. We're gonna do 3 spreads. General spread for the season, one for career, and we'll do a special one too. So let's do this first one. Cool. So, oh, let me see. And for those of you who would like a live reading at the end, you can click the description box below. We will be doing $10 minimum per card, 20 for 2. So the underlying theme we have for this first 20 for 3, my bad. The very underlying theme that we have for this Aquarius season is the theme of completion. Remember, we're in the completion arc. We're not in a new year. We're in a new Gregorian calendar year. This new Gregorian calendar year in February is the end of the previous cycle. Okay. Which is bringing in rewards for the cycle we started March 20th last year. So, underlying theme is the rewards of wealth, the Lord of wealth. Okay. You are continuing to now be rewarded for the foundation of wealth, whether in the form of passive income, inheritances, your work paying off that you have already set into motion for a while now. Okay. And what's even better, remember, this is like a rewards type of theme. The main lesson we have here is the Nine of Cups of your wish come true. I've never seen the Nine of Cups look like this, too. So I'm really enjoying this deck. We see there are two figures behind the cups, and then they're watering the cups. The watering of the cups are the emotional investments of what you're satisfied about. So the whole lesson of this Aquarius season are your wishes coming true. And in a sense where you are, of course, manifesting or establishing a state of satisfaction. If we had it as a challenge, we'd say don't brag about it, don't get too smug. But first of all, let's apply this. This is cartomancy at the end of the day, the magecraft that I practice. What's your wish? What do you wish for? What are nine wishes? What is every wish that you have right now? Literally. What is it that you are pushing for? Okay. What is it that you have desired? You want to know that you have it. Okay. The lesson is not just examining this experience of this sense of success founded by wealth, infinite wealth, okay, which doesn't have to just take the place of like money and assets, but can, right? Um, what would you be thinking and feeling right now as you have all of this or as you have achieved this? All right. This isn't like the Six of Wands, which is like a successful achievement, as much as it is a divine state of satisfaction, that it's not you in wishful thinking, like, I wish okay, I have what I want. No, you literally are unfolding that right now. And that's why I'm saying this isn't just a random occurrence. You are at the 300 to 330-degree sun angle at the where the sun, like the sun is in the constellation of Capricorn, but relative to the sun's ecliptic path, it is in that 300 to 330-degree space, what we call Aquarius. All right. So this is the rewards. It makes perfect sense that we're in a position to come into the satisfaction from these rewards. Nine of Pentacles is more an independent wealth. Is it like the Nine of Pentacles? Kind of, just a lot more wealthy. The Nine of Pentacles is like someone who was able to make 7, 8 figures based on the hard work they did. The Ten of Pentacles is like coming from wealth, where you're a billionaire, or you've made passive income, where the nine can lead into the 10. Really good question. The challenge we have here is the Page of Pentacles, this reinvention. And I really like this card because we can see the pentacle being represented as the fruits of harvest here, especially relative to the plant being grown here. And it's interesting to see this theme of yellow, which will align with more brightness and happiness. The Page of Pentacles as a challenge is you, in a sense, really shifting the nature through which you reinvent the way you make money, you work out, you go back to the drawing board. It's a card that could be like the Page of Swords, be aligned with study, right? And with the Page of Pentacles here, what this does is it almost has you look at the things you always wished you wanted in a much more practical and grounded light. So this isn't necessarily pushing for this, how do I say it? It's not necessarily pushing for a more emotional or highly passionate engagement of this sense of satisfaction as much as it's having you immediately ground in reality what it is you are achieving and what it is what wishes you are coming into, what you intentions that are leaving you satisfied, which is really cool, especially with the foundation of the King of Cups, which is usually correlated with Scorpio, but it's just going to represent emotional compassion, emotional maturity, and emotional mastery. So the King of Cups as a foundation is actually a very like deeply powerful card to have here because it's resting upon all the time it has taken for you to gain this appropriate sense of wisdom, especially aligned with uh, developing more of your emotional intelligence and not being so quick to react. And, having this Zen like understanding, like, someone who studies psychology who can understand why people even react the way they do, which enables you not to be so reactive yourself. All right, whether you consider yourself emotional or not, this is representing a deep well of emotional maturity that with the Page of Pentacles will influence the practical ways in which you approach the season. Now, the past position out of Capricorn season, we have the Page of Wands. Okay. The Page of Wands is representing you stepping into this position with excitement. You may have recently received exciting news. And I like how this person is reading a tome on an adventure, right? Traveling through the desert. The wand, of course, is going to represent this initial sense of passion. And I do like this sense of the pages here because it lets us know there is a youthful, budding, and newly developing situation or situations that are in your life. Once again, considering this past position of exciting news and passionate development, that now lets us know that like the whatever wishes are coming true for you this season are going to be very exhilarating, which is why once again with the Page of Pentacles, you don't want to really get so excited about it that you forget about your practical responsibilities. It's like you have work in the morning, you have certain responsibilities you have to do, but you just won like $100,000 at the casino, right? And it's like, enjoy that, but still remember your obligations. Don't just put everything off because, you're so excited about what's happened. But the crown we have is the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is now counterbalancing the King of Cups, which is matching this sense of emotional maturity with financial responsibility, fiscal responsibility. That with the Page of Pentacles, once again, puts you in a position to restructure your wealth and the nature of your finances in a way that not only has you make more mature financial decisions moving forward, but sets you up for, well, more wealth. All right. And that's why I feel like with the King of Cups, if we had the King of Pentacles in the foundation, you'd be a lot more practically grounded. But we're putting the King of Pentacles as the crown to keep that grounding as the outlook, while we have this emotional maturity that enables us more fluidity and flexibility in certain situations, more understanding and more compassion. All right. Once again, like with the King of Cups as the foundation, people are going to be trying to push your buttons. People are going to be trying to, get reactions out of you. And you're already tapped into the psychological nature and state of what's even causing them to do that. It's just increasingly hard to, because you have a much deeper understand of your limits and of yourself. Okay. Understanding where people could be saying things out of being in their fucking feelings, and as well as just being caught up in the moment and offering that compassion to really give them the space to do whatever they got to do, like chill the fuck out. So the next stage we have, the next step that we have going into here is the Queen of Pentacles. which now is very interesting, seeing the king and queen, which are passion partners. Almost have like a family set, the king, page, and queen. But it is going to be talking about now greater financial management and heightening the quality around what you invest in. So it's the masculine nature of this King of Pentacles, and we're stepping into the feminine nature of the Queen of Pentacles. That's going to be more receptive relative to the quality and the nature of how you're even spending your money. The Queen of Pentacles is able to make a dollar stretch much longer than most people relative to her wisdom and experience in certain fields. And for some of you, this is going to be the archetype of an actual woman who, or someone who carries this archetype, who I think is going to help develop what exciting developments are already in play. You are showing up as the high priestess, which is very important because you're very tuned into mystery, you're very tuned into magic. And what's the most important thing here is the high priestess is a card of inner knowing. It's about making the impossible possible, which you are doing right now. And it represents, in certain senses, foregoing tradition and conventional logic. You have an understanding of situations that are not going to make logical sense to people, but it's not their job to believe it. It might be their job to challenge and sharpen your stance and to pressure you. It's not your job to doubt it because you have other people demanding that it makes sense to them or that you do what they want you to do. All right, this is very important. When people demonize tarot like witchcraft, they have bills they're introducing in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and other such states that are banning the reading of tarot. Okay, which is clearly a bullshit law, and will be interesting to see if this spreads. Hopefully not, but when people think of the devil card in tarot as being evil, this is the real devil card to many like orthodox religious people, because there are no priestesses in a high temple. Even King Solomon only had priests. Women traditionally are not necessarily meant to kind of have these positions of authority in these temples. And so the very image of a woman in this position is very taboo. This is representing using the best spiritual path for you, instead of really kind of being too rigid and orthodox. And it's good to come up with the Hierophant, because without this card, the Hierophant can be too rigid. But with this card, there's more balanced understanding and a lot more nonlinear, of course, wisdom. So you're revealing a lot of sacred principles through your own actions about what you believe, about what you're doing. And what's also very significant here with the high priestess is a lot of these reflections you're making may only make sense to you right now, but you want to be very mindful of what you keep a mystery, as over explaining yourself, right? And trying to really show what's happening can weaken the nature of your psychic powers, your mystery, that it being okay with not knowing how certain things work, but sticking into the inner knowing you have is really more than enough of all you need to do. And what we do have around you is, and yeah, that's not going to sound logical. It's not empirical. It's not rational enough for people, which is the entire point. All right. You know, right? What you are being guided to do. You are seeing synchronicities that align your intent with, of course, action you are meant to take. Or see, with the high priestess, it's about the actions we don't take. And it's about looking at situations and not being baited in to do something that you don't normally do or even believe in because of some manufactured pressure. Now, we do have the Eight of Pentacles, which shows that you are hard at work. You're not really just doing anything, and the work that you are doing is causing you to stay ready, stay sharp, and to stay with the quality that this work is going in. So far, it's very interesting to see the influence of Pentacles in an air sign season. I think it stands for Boaz and Joachim. But yeah, that being said, the Pentacles here really speak to the grounding and the natural quality of actual tangible practical results and effort being placed. The guidance we have for this Aquarius season is the 7 of Pentacles. All right. And with the 7 of Pentacles, it's saying that you are investing in a promise of fortune, which is very significant because you may be seeing small and incremental growth, but it's not going nowhere. It's not something that what you are aiming to do is a long-term project. And many of you will be very discouraged if you're expecting results immediately. That's not even what happened with, let's say, the Montgomery bus boycott. It took a time. It is a process. And a lot of what you see kind of building up, you definitely want to be mindful about what you want to invest with this. You're going to really be examining this promise of fortune. You're going to be minding your investments. This is especially important financially, for those of you who are setting up, stocks or insurance or other such stuff, all tied into the wealth that you're coming into. The outcome, of course, we have is the 6 of Pentacles. So relative to the 6 of Pentacles, there is this sense of financial support. It's coming with the Hierophant and the Emperor, which is going to really lock down more authority over certain traditions or over a more orthodox manner of really being a part of an organization or being an organizational leader. But the 6 of Pentacles really speaks of not only philanthropy, it's actually a card of being careful what you wish for because you'll get it. So, yeah, that being said, relative to this nature of these cards that we have here, very, very rewarding, very interesting, very awesome, if that. And I think what's also cool about that is this sense and nature of, if you need financial assistance, it's going to be there. If you need to give financial assistance, it's going to be there. Especially seeing, once again, the nature of how these all play out. Once again, we have a preponderance of Pentacle cards, mainly because this deck is new and I haven't fully shuffled it yet. So I can see a lot of the suits are still in the same position. But yeah, this is very beautiful. This is very, very beautiful. I really like this underlying theme right here. All right. There's a lot of wealth that's being set up. You're sowing a lot of seeds for wealth right now that are going to continue to really grow very powerfully and very practically for you. Okay. And look, here's your 9 of Pentacles, Miss Nikki. It's beautiful. Once again, for those of you who would like a card, you're welcome to join the queue. If you'd like a live reading of your own, just click the description box below. I have PayPal, I have Venmo, I have CashApp. All right, cool. So next, even though this seemed like a career reading, we're going to save the life purpose career reading for the last one. This next one we'll do is more of like a relationship romance reading, or platonic or romantic. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic, but this could represent just the nature of who you're connecting with, what's kind of developing, what kind of guidance we have around that as well. Happy Mars Tuesday. So the underlying theme we have is the Emperor card, which now I think is a really good augment to the 10 of Pentacles. I like the goat on, or this ram that's on this Emperor, the ram on the Emperor. All right. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of thought there. A lot of thought. It's something that'll be exciting to see develop moving forward as well. Wagwan. Wagwan. Shout out to Windtalk. So yeah, that being said, the Emperor is talking about, of course, getting your shit together. It's Bruja love even. Really good question. I feel like the Emperor is you putting your foot down, and you have rules. Well, first of all, especially for ladies watching, the Emperor is a father figure, whether you're a male or female, right? And it could be looking towards the examples of father figures you have, or any, masculine potency that will really be leading archetypes to kind of show you a standard of what it is you want. So this could really be you attracting this type of, whatnot. But I feel like this is also on your part, kind of establishing your own ground rules. And if you want to lead somebody, if you want someone to listen to you, but they see that you don't even follow your own rules, how are they going to respect your own rules? So there's a level of discipline, and there's a level of authority that you're going to be establishing, especially if you're a male, right? That will really establish the table. It's rigid in a sense, it's somewhat strict, and really developing this will give the assertiveness necessary to realistically, push forward any significant connections. Now, the main lesson we have is the Fool, and I love this. Uranus is in Taurus, right? But the Fool card is literally taking a leap of faith, taking a risk, right? And you better believe the opportunity to do so will open itself up, and it pushes for you to have an open mind relative to certain people who may not be your type, certain people who you're attracted to, but it's outside of what you're used to dealing with or engaging with, which opens up exhilarating new opportunities on all sides for you to not just kind of, you know, learn new things through each other, but also be in a position to very powerfully open up to a new adventure and new experiences. Okay. So the Fool card can even represent someone younger than you or just youthful in nature. And it's looking very exciting. That's why, with the foundation of the Emperor, it's not that you're just taking a leap of faith, but you have the proper principles and discipline in order to secure where you're going. Now, we do have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is definitely going to be speaking on this sense of teamwork and sharing skills together. The challenge, of course, would be taking the skills that both of you have, and whether through a practical project or just the dynamic of any existing relationships, to work through any differences and to actually continue to merge these skills. What's also significant, especially even if you're single, I split the deck, I got the Nine of Cups again, so there's the satisfaction. Especially if you're single, like, this will really kind of speak towards, similar to Eight of Pentacles, any talents, any trades, any skills, any kind of useful facets that you bring to the proverbial table. And that's going to really take into account what is important about you, and help you understand what you might, want to fill in that gap, or how in an existing connection this is already being applied. So with the Fool card, this looks like a new project, and I think this is a really great way to really step forward and spark a relationship too, if there's something grounded and practical that you can work on together. And we do have the Queen of Pentacles, once again, but as the foundation of this reading, which, with this strong financial backing and just shrewd and wise management, will really keep powerful stability. Yes, it's not about looks, it's about whether they can be an asset to my harem. That's what we talking about. Okay. Shout out to those of you with the harems. All right, I feel you. And the past position we do have is the Nine of Pentacles. So this is talking about financial independent wealth. Interestingly enough, though, in a romance reading as well, it could represent maybe not necessarily, it could represent a sense of isolation where maybe you've had JOMO instead of FOMO, in order to focus on, what it is you want to achieve and the work you have to do. I think it could even represent the nature of someone you've recently come in to meet, especially with the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, she looks gorgeous in this deck. That adds a much more luxurious and rich feel to this. So once again, we're getting a lot of Pentacle cards. Like, this is very interesting, especially the Six of Pentacles as the crown, which is now going to speak of any inequalities being satisfied, right? In some cases, there may be a case where like one person is a lot more wealthy than the other, but the Three of Pentacles represents like important skill sets that really help to make each other very um useful to each other. Jomo is the joy of missing out. There's a fear of missing out and the joy of missing out. So the Six of Pentacles once again speaks to more of a philanthropic approach, especially where maybe you could be opening up a venture with someone to help other people, or to really once again balance certain inequalities that exist. So even if once again your signal is going to really color the approach that you're taking this. Now, the next step, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's evolution, there's expansion, there's the wheels of fate turning round and round. That's going to have you at the right place at the right time, which once again really rewards risk. All right. Flirting with abandon, putting yourself out there in a way that's going to align you with destiny directly, which is very beautiful. So this could add to any feel of synchronicities. This is good to know that there isn't anything specific you have to do as far as moving forward, like you're lucky, right? Or you're ready to level up, all right, and expand. Now you're showing up as the Queen of Cups, which is interesting because we did have the High Priestess, both of which are very intuitive, speaking to you being deeply in love, even if just with yourself and with life. This is looking at the same direction of the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like whether you see this in your bank account or not, you've enriched yourself very greatly. You've taken the time to really deepen your own emotional maturity and understanding, and you're a lot more compassionate and sensitive during this time, and psychic AF. All right, especially with the King of Pentacles that we do have around you, which is going to represent perhaps maybe a couple, right? Maybe somebody who has your back. It could also represent, despite the emotional sensitivity, you're still being perceived as someone very grounded and very wealthy. All right, even if especially in spirit. The guidance we do have is the King of Wands, which I think echoes the underlying theme of the Emperor. And to see a lot of these court cards could really also represent characters and archetypes that are in play here. The King of Wands, especially if you're working with multiple people with the Three of Pentacles, the King of Wands is literally, if talking about actual an actual person, this could be a very passionate entrepreneurial figure who is doing what they do full time and is very passionate about what they do. This could also be representing the approach you're being guided to take in order to, of course, approach things with more mastery of passion, especially with this expansion of the Wheel of Fortune. And the outcome we have is the Strength card, which is very sexual, especially for fun and frolics, is a mastery of your lust. And once again, said passion. And I think will really go a long way towards really leading into very joyous and once again passionate period, which I think will also lead into unveiling more stability. So the Wheel of Fortune and the Strength, it's almost like taking the foundation of what has been set up through Capricorn season, and it's getting ready to expand it through into so much more passionate fun. All right. And to expand the space where you can explore more the nature of relationships, and even if single, to put yourself in this state of passion to attract more fun in your life, whether you want to get in a relationship or not. The King of Wands and the Strength card are both Leo. So I think that's also very interesting. Can we get a track at the end? Melissa, universally, what kind of, which song do you guys have? Any song requests you want to hear at the end? I totally have no problem with that. But yeah, you see these lions, right? We're stepping forward more passionately as Jupiter is getting ready to go into Leo later on in the year, like in July. So that lion will represent themes of pride, will represent themes of courage, will represent themes of just fun and passion. And that's where the King of Wands' guidance is matching that passion with a certainty and a responsibility to cultivate your own creativity and to not really shy away from that. And that's beautiful. I love that. So that's what we have for the, I got you, Melissa. That's what we have for the shout out to the Big Body High Priestess. Romance reading, the relationship reading. Once again, for a non-romantic context, it's going to take the relationships with people around you, and you're going to start to see greater traction. You're going to start collaborating with a lot more people, and there's going to be opportunities in order for you to invest and divulge more into what you love, what brings you excitement, what stimulates your creativity. Okay. So last but not least, Vianney, I got your Venmo, and yeah, so you'll be first in the queue. For anyone else, once again, who would like card reading, you're welcome to join the queue once again. So finally, we're gonna do the career and the life purpose read. Word. Which one? All right, we'll find out which one. Greetings, by the way, for any one of you who want to join the membership. The exclusive tarot and pick a card reading are God Squad exclusives. That's $6.99 a month. Infinity Club is $9.99 a month, and the Eternal Vibe Tribe is 99 cents a month. All right, so members will have exclusive access to watch these replays and for any videos that I release before their time. Okay. Oh wow. Oh my God. Okay. So the underlying theme we have for this life purpose career reading, we do what's up? We got the wealth card again. We got the wealth card for the career reading. All right. So once again, like, it's important to understand that this isn't necessarily, I got you, I'll play on God after Bruja Love. This once again isn't coming out of nowhere. Okay, this is the 10 is the completion of a cycle, and Aquarius season represents the completion every year of a cycle. Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces are the completion of a cycle that we started since March, if we're going to start with Aries. All right, and what's very significant here is that passive income, inheritances, a large attainment of wealth, you're either sowing the seeds of that now, or you are being rewarded with seeds you planted before. So this is representative of actions you've taken up into this point that, especially with the main lesson being the Page of Swords, is going to give you a very new outlook for how to look at all this. Okay. The Page of Swords is going back to the drawing board. For example, it's very interesting. I get this because guess what I'm going to start doing Aquarius season. First of all, I'm going to start trade school in February. And I plan to go back to further my education, get my electrical engineering degree. And so I'm online learning calculus again. Like 10 years ago, I've taken all the math classes, Calc 1, 2, 3, differential equations, matrix algebra, all sorts of shit. I don't remember most of it. So I'm going back to refresh so that I could probably do placement tests. And that's what a page of swords is like. It's like going back to the drawing board, like the page of pentacles, but it's like learning new information in a new way, learning a new language. A card like this is also like knowledge without wisdom and gossiping. Also, a card like what the page of swords also really is an agent that is spying on you and people lurking on you. But because we got this in career, while people could be looking at references you put in an application, this is, learning things newly, not being too proud to go back and learn something new and change the way you learn as well. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And the challenge that I have, right, for this is the Queen of Swords. Dude, I love this deck. And that's very interesting because we do see the page looking at the queen. The challenge is to really look at the example of those who are focused and very sharp, right? The page does not have the sharpness that the queen or the king have. And the challenge is also you know what I'm saying? um so are you going back towards something from beginning of Neptune Pisces, but doing it differently? That's a really good question. I would say more North Node in Aquarius, because when I started learning all this, Neptune was still coming out of Aquarius. I started college like 2008. I didn't graduate till 2020. Like I changed majors a lot of times. I dropped out. I eventually finished with communications. I one more class I would have minored in business, but I dropped that class. So this and that started for, that was very significant because now the North Node's going back into Aquarius, and I'm getting ready to do it differently for sure. But the Queen of Swords is a challenge. Is you're learning new things, you're taking a new idea, right? The Page of Swords is like you're very skilled at what you do, but like children can give you a unique idea from their perspective. Now the challenge is to have the focus. We've done the general spread and we've done the relationship spread. So this is the career spread, and we're using the before tarot. Thank you, Forest Fairy. Okay. So the challenge is to now focus like an adult. The challenge is to stay focused and not distracted. The Queen of Swords knows what she has to do, and she's very cold and objective and matter of fact with her judgment. She's not going to let her emotions cloud her judgment. And this is also in the establishment of this wealth. So there's high intellect moving forward here. And I feel like this can come in the form of advice or guidance to really take ideas you're coming into and get a more mature opinion. But the foundation we have here is the Hermit. So a lot of what you're moving forward with is your own expertise. A lot of you are really stepping more into being self-taught. Fourth Fairy, that's a really good question. I love the After Tarot, but now looking at these, because I have the smaller deck there too. So I've been using the After Tarot more with the smaller deck, and using the smaller deck, I'd be forgetting how big these regular decks are. But I'm looking at the Before Tarot and it just looks amazing. My favorite card in the After Tarot is the Four of Pentacles. So I'm going to see what my favorite for there is as well. Okay. Once again, these exclusive tarots are exclusive for God Squad members if you want to catch the replay. So I'm going to leave this available for the rest of today, and then I'll make it exclusive tomorrow. But that being said, the Hermit card is definitely talking about highlighting a lot of the self-taught wisdom through your own personal experiences, through a lot of your own, of course, wisdom that you have accumulated and that has enabled you. So you're the foundation of this is your own inner mastery. And of course, a lot of the experience you've gained, whether through isolation or not, or just, internal work, really mastering a lot of qualities and skills and techniques from yourself and of yourself. We are moving forward from the Hangman, which is a very interesting card here. There's surrender that has enabled you to change your perspective around what it is you're headed into and how it is you approach things, which enabled you to, with this Neptune card, to not take action on certain things you were outside of your hand or were uncertain, because the way things looked then versus how they look now have considerably shifted. And if you were to take an action prematurely, you may not have gone at it with the proper focus and intention, or at least direction. Okay. So the crown that we have here is the Four of Swords. This is like a vacation period, rest period. You're moving forward with an outlook of mental clarity and restoration. So it's interesting to see the sword cards coming up, because you're not, if we had the Five of Swords, you'd have a scattered mind. If we had the Seven of Cups, you would see a lot of these options, but you're more, delusional, or you're dealing with delusion, or altered states of consciousness. We have the Four of Swords. You're clear of mind, you're well rested, and that enables your mind to move forward much more powerfully. Now, the next step we do have is the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups. I'm sorry. So the Knight of Cups is Pisces. That's the next season ahead. But it's also a romantic, seductive approach, which now, because you're moving forward more intellectually sharp and focused, it enables you to play around with your emotions and to really move forward towards things that appeal to your heart, and for you to appeal to others' hearts. This is like a romantic proposal, mind you. Okay. So in the guise of career, this could definitely be a more seductive approach towards marketing. For those of you who do engage in marketing, it's like you're not appealing to like stats and details as much as you're appealing to pathos, right? To stuff, emotional hooks that will show a lot more, reading between the lines, and to speak more to people's souls. Now, we do have the Ace of Pentacles, which I think is really good to see in a career reading, because it's representing you being a new and healthy beginning. You are, of course, this new wealth. You are in the midst of activating new wealth. That ace turns into the 10. Okay. Which I think, once again, is very significant because of any new ventures you might be ready to step into. And what we have around you is the Lovers. So, oh shit. So with the Lovers card, what we see here is you're building this fertile soil on what you love to do. We can look at this romantically, especially the Lovers and the Four of Swords in a reading together represent the sublime season of the soulmate. But I think this is in a career context, speaking of sowing the seeds of new financial ventures in environments that foster passion, and and around stuff you really love to do, or will really learn to love to do, especially now with the Knight of Cups, which adds a lot more of a romantic nature to this, with the center of the page and Queen of Swords being intellectual with the clear mind and clear focus. So the guidance we do have is the Eight of Cups. It is definitely going to represent being prepared to walk away and to depart from that which no longer serves you, and from that with which you have made previous emotional investments towards. Now, this is very significant because we got the Seven of Pentacles of financial investments here before. And in a sense, that could look like walking away from what you've invested in before. But I feel like they're separate in a sense where you have stuff you're going to continue to invest in financially, but emotionally, especially when it comes to certain facets of your career, especially when it comes to certain work that you feel your job is done in, or just certain dynamics. Don't necessarily hesitate to depart, leave, walk away. This could even represent travel in a way for some of you, where you might be called outside of where you're at currently to further your work, even if just temporarily. And the outcome we do have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, he has his eyes closed. For career, this is working online or doing certain things that may not be as conventional. This is a card of altered states of consciousness. It's interesting. In a future position like this, when you get the Seven of Cups, it's like you could fantasize, right? I mentioned that, Forest Fairy. I didn't fully shuffle the deck. So the first reading, I had all Pentacles. I've shuffled it, but it still needs to be shuffled a bit more. So I kind of worked through it. But yeah, the Seven of Cups, I've read this in Keen, in a future position is like, let's say you have this dream of becoming a rock and roll star, right? And you want to manage your own label. So you go to school for business. And the only thing keeping you in this school is your dream to be a rock star business manager, right? But then after you finish your degree, you no longer want to be a business manager in that field. That that desire, that dream to accomplish that got you through something that's ultimately going to help you move forward. So it's something to keep in mind. Seven of Cups represents multiple options, most being fool's gold, you not knowing what to choose. And it could represent a sense of creative visualization. Now, the bonus cards that we have, we do see, of course, what comes first, the Six of Cups and the Nine of Swords, which I feel like is going to induce this sense of innocence and comfort in a work environment in order to alleviate, of course, any sense of anxiety, especially with the Four of Swords that we have here. So, something to keep in mind, especially with the Ten of Pentacles that we have as the underlying theme. The Knight of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Cups, um it definitely, I think, puts you in a position to carry forth this intellectual focus to brave through any shifts that might, of course, be a bit more irrational and non-linear. Okay. um this definitely will, I think, because we're headed into Pisces season, is why we're seeing these more, of course, abstract concepts moving forward. But I think we'll just kind of shift the approach through which you step into this. Because the Seven of Cups, in an odd way, could also be fantasies coming true in a sense. So, yeah, that's what we have for um, the tarot card readings for Aquarius season. I'm gonna start with Mama Aqua. Okay. And if anyone else wants to join the queue, once again, for 20, I'll pull 3 cards. Minimum for 1, I'll pull 10. Okay. That being said, Seven of Cups in the future is me wondering what team I'm a bet on tonight. Yeah, dead ass. That's awesome. And hey, you never know. So all right. So for live reading, Lady V, we have the Two of Cups. All right. The underlying theme of the Two of Cups. This is beautiful too, because we know you have Aqua Rising and you have a extraordinary Aquarius stellium. And relative to the stellium, the underlying theme. Oh, the math practice app, that one's so good. I'm using Khan Academy, but if you know of any math practice apps, that would be pretty dope. So knowing you have this first house stellium, as well as the nature of all the aqua placements that you have, it's definitely, of course, representative of mutual love relationships. There's space for you to be with someone who you trust and who trusts you. I think with the Venus in Cancer, it's representing the nurturing nature of your heart right now and the approach you have towards people in general, who you can trust. But I feel like this could be opening up space in preparation for Jupiter to go into your 7th by July, for more committed relationships. So under that, guys, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Judgment card, which is definitely talking about new talks in the way, and new healthy beginnings that are going to awaken you more to your greater purpose. This is Pluto, and Pluto is in your first house. So I feel like with the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, it's putting you in a position to start a relationship in a healthy way. And the Page of Swords could represent insight and information you're getting about the situation, insight you're coming up with yourself, and your outlook is definitely very positive, hopeful, and showing, a lot of what is, once again, potential here. I really do like the Ace of Pentacles though, because it lets us know that, especially in the context of something romantic, these aren't just rose tinted glasses. This is a practical foundation and footing that now really gives onus for anything that builds off of this, well, to actually last. Okay. So yes, thank you once again. This is what we have. I know we got a couple of musical requests, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, you guys stay blessed as always. And tomorrow I'm going to tomorrow I'm going to return with the Mercury and Aquarius transit talk, and then Thursday we're going to do the pick a card reading. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna play these song requests, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah.
She a full-grown witch. Yeah, dudes calling her a bitch before she write their name down. Throw that paper in the ditch. Now they life fucked up and they luck just switch. Heartbroken, feeling numb again. She told herself she never fall in love again. And that was all true until I pulled up the block and she saw me, dude. Yeah, in the instant we caught eyes. Magic was the moment we instantly stopped time. This voodoo she using is too true. Connection divine, she playing dumb like who knew? And I don't know as much as I wish I did, but I stay on point like a fucking shuriken. See, I thought I was gonna get it in. Little did I know what I was getting in. She loves me so, she loves me not. She wants my soul, she wants my... And I know that this life here ain't really what it seems, cause I try to run away and she show up in my dreams. Her love obsessive, it makes me fiend. She just a queen, still looking for a king. I'm thinking this sent from above. Little did I know though, this that bruja love.
Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla.
She walk like she can have anything she want on the spot. See, they really only hating cause she everything they not. Wisdom of Yamaya, the swagger Oshun, the strength of Volgoon. Cross her once, that's your doom. Send you straight to your tomb. And I'm like a movie, got me coming soon. Never knew she was the sun to my moon, until the moment that I got inside her womb. She loves me so, she loves me not. She wants my soul, she wants my... And I know that this life here ain't really what it seems, cause I try to run away and she show up in my dreams. Her love obsessive, it makes me fiend. She just a queen, still looking for a king. I'm thinking this sent from above. Little did I know though, this that bruja love.
Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. Real goddess in the flesh, whole flex, the big body high priestess. Preceded by my rep, I've been here, divine feminine. Eat the hearts of many men, I told her God, when he wanna spar, we could get it in. Talking about the stars, then it got a little physical. My Venus and his Mars and a whole sex ritual. Talking to my lower lips to tell me what he want. Like, don't push me, I get gushy off a taunt. Taste the power in the yoni, he devouring the yoni. Help you manifest when you come, give a testimony. Tell him how I made you run and see what other tricks I'm holding. How I fix it if it's broken, ooh. Catch it when I throw it, ooh. Deep stroking in this ocean, that is fortitude. Look in your face, tell you what to do, I'm a leader too. No calamus root, for the impression that I leave on you. Quick energy exchange when you need a boost. Must.
With this timing I'm on, can't fuck with this rhyming I'm on. Seen them talk, now all of them gone. Seen that dog, I gave it a bomb. They like, what is he on? On God, all you my sons. On God, I kill you for fun. On God, there can only be one. Call me Unc, now watch me walk it out. It's on sight, we blast, not talk it out. Kill you goofies, fuckers you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you talking about. 26-year-old dropout. Made 6 figures when I clocked out. Mama said, get my degree, got that with the breeze. Now I rock when my cock out.
Put it on God, put it on Jesus, put it on Yah, put it on Bezel, put it on Allah, put it on Reason, put it on I, put it on we, put it on God, put it on Shiva, put it on Ra, put it on Edith. See the facade and I leave it. Death isn't one, it'll come in a 3.
Another soul I'm out here slaying. Another body out there decaying. Another false god y'all obeying. Another lie getting paraded. Live the truth, watch me demonstrate it. Showed you love even though you hate it. Know the day that your death is faded. I'll make sure that I never say it. Really, I'm not the one to play with. When I knock on that door, it's time to let go. Just give me your soul. I sever that cord, you losing control. I'm racking up spirits, they racking up dough. Dealing that piece on the low. I cheat on my goals, my words really go. Got more than enough, but it's time to get more.
Put it on God, put it on Jesus, put it on Yah, put it on Bezel, put it on Allah, put it on Reason, put it on I, put it on we, put it on God, put it on Shiva, put it on Ra, put it on Eve. Facade and I leave it. Death isn't one, it'll come in a 3. Please just
call me Unc, now watch me walk it out. It's on sight, we blast, not talk it out. Kill you goofies, fuck is you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you talk about. 34-year-old tapped in. Driver's seat, I'm strapped in. Serving all over your lane, I must be insane.
Hey.
Dying, I'm laughing.
put it on God, put it on Jesus, put it on Yah, put it on Bezel, put it on Allah, put it on Reason, put it on I, put it on we, put it on God, put it on Shiva, put it on Ra, put it on Eve. See the facade and I leave it. Death isn't one, it'll come in a 3.
Can't fuck with this timing I'm on. Can't fuck with this rhyming I'm on. Seen them talk, now all of them gone. Seen that dog, I gave it a bone. They like, what is he on? On God, all you my sons. On God, I kill you for fun. On God, it can only be